Hello everybody. Just give you an update as to what's been going on this winter. We've got this, some of our sunflowers have taken a bit of a beating because it's been getting down and freezing, a little frost. But we're gonna see, just let them grow up. Got a lot of these little white flowers. I want to call it alyssum, it might be, I can't remember. Just a wildflower that we threw down. We did recently though put in, we've got a blueberry right there, this guy right here, so that blueberry's growing up. And then we got, this is a red raspberry, the stick with some shoots coming off the top here. And then we've got a blackberry, which is this guy right here, the stick coming out. He's starting to get some shoots off of him. It's been pretty cold, so it might take a little bit of time. And then we've got a it's like a, not Brandywine, it's a raspberry, but it's not a red, it's a black raspberry that's growing right here. So we'll let those just fill in here, see how they do. Everything's an experiment. We'll see how things go. Coming over, all of our citrus is ready. We've been eating it. Oranges, grapefruits. The oranges are ready. I got to pick them all probably this weekend. These are great for juice. They aren't super sweet. They're just sweet enough, so they're good orange. These are navels, and they're good just for orange juice. And then we've got the grapefruits have been ready. They've been ready for some time. But I've got to get all this citrus off so that we can trim them up before they start to flower and get for next year. That usually happens around March, April. So probably get it all cleaned off by end of January, February, trim them up, be ready for March and April for new shoots and new growth. You can see Tangelo tree over here, a ton of Tangelos. Now those are good for just eating because they are super sweet. So that's happening. Greenhouse back here. We've got the zucchini plants. I had the crookneck squash right here, but it had seen its days, so I yanked it out. We got probably about 8 out of the crookneck squash. Out of the zucchinis, we got probably about 5 each. So 20 to 25 zucchinis in total. They're getting a little old. They're kind of shooting off and doing some weird things, so we might pull those pretty soon here. Here's one of the most recent zucchinis that we've gotten off of there. And this is a small one compared to what we've been getting. So they may have seen their day. You can see the tomato plants, they're actually really starting to come in now. And we've got ample tomatoes on here that are growing off. This is probably my favorite tomato plant that I've ever grown in here. Nice big tomatoes, and they're slow to come to red right now, to mature, just because it's so cold out. But when they do, man, I'm gonna have some huge tomatoes that are gonna come off of this plant. He's very determinate. He isn't getting very tall. He's staying low and bushy, and just big tomatoes. So I like this plant a lot. We're gonna get more of him. Back here, these are a grape tomato, a red grape tomato that he just shot up and came from old seed that we've had a red grape here before. This is a husky red that just shot up. So I just let them grow. You know, if they're gonna come back this year, then just let them grow. Another red grape that's coming along. More zucchini plants. Got some cucumber back there. A few rogue carrots that we just peppered in here. A pepper plant. Cucumbers, they're not liking the cold so much. I don't know how they're gonna make it through, but we'll see. Some beets back there that are still growing. This is a yellow pear tomato that I did off a seed. So we're letting him grow up in this potter and then probably find a place for him over in the big planter. Mint. A lot of our flowering plants, jalapeno, but our flowering plants, they're loving this. Aloe's going crazy. Oregano. Little elephant ear, no more just flowers, lavender, but they're liking the kind of cold weather, that it isn't too hot yet, and they're continuing to grow. This planter's just off the hook. It just keeps growing. So everything's looking really good in here. Close the doors at night, open them up when the sun comes out. And because when we come out here in the morning, in the cold, there's just condensation. It's so humid in here. And so we just want to open up the doors to let some of that come out, because if it just gets too humid in here, you have chance for a lot of fungus, a lot of bad fungi or other things that can occur. So let it air out, let some of this humidity get out of here. Basil, some gardenias? No, geraniums, sorry. Geraniums, not gardenias. So most of the stuff, everything pretty much in here has been growing since, when did we plant? October. Maybe late September, beginning October. This has been growing. In this, we'll replace a few, like we're going to pull the zucchinis out, and then we'll get something in there. Usually the week after the Super Bowl, we can replant and get new stuff going. That we're hoping most of this just continues on into June, and then June we close it up because it just gets too hot, and let it go dormant until October again. But we should have some really good tomatoes here soon. And that's it. That's what we've been doing. Next, the job that's working on right now is getting this all leveled out so that we can put in this side courtyard area, and that's going to button up the outside out here. I'm not going to go all the way to the end. I've made a compromise as to where I want to go, and then just rock the rest. So we're gonna have a fairly big courtyard. Got to get a tree for that hole right there that I have. But then I'm thinking also trees along the wall here. Something that isn't going to be crazy and ruin my wall like it did over there. Something that goes deep root a little bit more. Thinking these trees are going to be purposeful. So some kind of fruit tree that we can eat. I'm not just going to have trees for trees. They're gonna do something. So put a couple trees along there. That's about it. See, we're painting on the side here. Got to hit the back, and we'll move on. I'll give you some updates later. Bye.